Welcome to the Running Network Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
I don't mind telling you, we made a big play for her, but she and her coaches have a lot of respect for this event, and they decided it was not the year, and I respect that, and I give her a lot of credit for that, and they've decided that this is the year. And the fact that she's standing up here now, I think, should make all of her competitors very nervous. Desi Linden.
Shalane has tried to go for the American record. Dina Castor just set the World Masters half marathon record and is looking to do 2:25. Who do you think are your main challengers for the Olympic team? How do you guys feel like you're doing heading into this crucial next 18 months?
Yeah, Boston was huge for me because I felt like it put me back in the conversation. I do want to keep moving forward instead of looking back, but there's certainly a nice pack there clipping my heels for sure. And anyone can have a breakthrough at any time. I think Versailles here looks great, Kleppen looks great. Obviously Amy Hastings had a huge run. Kara's coming around, and it's really exciting to talk about all the names because there's so many people running great right now that you have to keep looking forward and figuring out how you're going to get a little bit better and a little bit better, because if you rest on where you're at right now, they're going to just blow right by you. So it's exciting, and I think this weekend's very important, and I want to take another, this opportunity to kind of establish myself as that one of those front runners for the spot. And hey, if you want to make the team and we go out at 1:12, are you ready for that? I want it to be outside of the comfort zone of the people that are clipping my heels. So it's a good opportunity to practice that and see where I'm at.
I want to go kind of in a different direction. Marietta County's coming off having a child and running a great half marathon, one of the favorites here. Kara Goucher has been in the media a lot. She has a kid and all that. I mean, obviously you don't have a child yet, but what are your thoughts on trying to come back from that, going through that process? Have you talked to people about it, and is it something that you think that you could do during your career?
It hasn't really been on my radar. The children thing is just super frightening to me, so I just don't even talk about it. I pretend like it's not what are you talking about, babies? I have dogs, I'm good. But it's cool to see that so many people have done it well, and that it's very doable. I'm sure it's incredibly challenging. It's a thing that you can run through and stay relatively fit. So I think in terms of when you think about a big injury, you're just losing fitness, you can maintain and stay pretty healthy. But it's a whole different ball game. So it's nice to know that if I do go down that road, I'll have plenty of people who've gone through it and really good support and helping navigate that process. Yeah.
Desi, what are your thoughts on your first time running New York? Daunting at all, or is it a big concern, or is it no big deal?
I think it's been daunting for a long time, but I wanted to get past that before I raced here and feel comfortable running in the city and with all the press, and there's a lot of hype around the event, so I kind of felt like I've taken a long time to get comfortable with it, and now I'm all right, I'm ready for it. It's okay. It's all sort of expected at this point, so I kind of find it exciting this time.
What kind of race do you think will play out? Do you think it'll be a kind of come from behind tactic-wise? If Katani has Deva has a tendency to take it out hard.
Yeah.
Is that kind of your focus? Or?
I'm definitely going to find what feels like the right effort for me, given the conditions. It'll be interesting to see how they play their cards, especially with the wind. I know Deba had no problem last year going for it, even with high winds. So we'll see if it's the same strategy or how she decides to manage it. But I'm going to lock into my own race plan for the first 20 and try to get there really efficient and race from there. So, yeah.
Have you toured the course? Have you run a lot of the course? Or?
I did. I came out in June and covered it over 3 days, a couple different parts of it. So I've seen it and run it, but it's not as familiar as a Boston for me. I know every turn in that course and every bump in the road. So that's kind of makes you a little hesitant, but it's good. I think it keeps you mentally focused, and I think it'll be fun. It looks like a fun course. I'm excited.
More hills than Houston or Berlin or
sure.
Places. different than Boston, but I mean, do you like those kind of courses, or do you like the flat ones? What's your advantage? Where do you get your advantage?
Yeah, no, I think the course will suit me really well. We've done a ton of strength work, and I have, I guess this is my third marathon in a row, really. So I have that base built up, and I have that strength built up, and I think that really highlights a strength runner. So I think it'll be good for me. If I did go to a Berlin or Chicago, I think I would actually struggle. I just don't have that turnover right now, so it'll be something we'll look towards in the future.
And you know what the plan is for next year, leading up to the trial? So you're planning to do another marathon next year, or are you going to do something different? Do you have any idea yet?
I know that the speed stuff is a weakness right now for sure, so we'll work on a big chunk of speed work, but how it fits in, I don't know. I mean, we have basically a whole year to play with, so kind of sit down after this and see what I really need.
Some winter track stuff?
I would love to do some winter track stuff, but one step at a time.
Sorry if I got here late. I was
That's
wondering
okay.
if you spoke already about your goals, what you're hoping to accomplish on Sunday.
I think looking at training and stuff, I felt like 5:30 was a pace that was very realistic. We'll look at the conditions and really just kind of decide on that and feel it out by effort when we get out there. But if it's huge headwinds and 5:30s feels like 5:20s, you dial back and adjust your plan. But we'll look at the conditions and kind of make some final game plans later.
So it's more time than place, or meeting Kara or Dina or something like that?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think the effort that I put in is to get me to 20, and then hopefully I do that efficiently, can look up at 20 and say, all right, let's race. And I don't think that's far off what some of these top runners can run, and hopefully you're hunting down top 5, top 3. If it breaks right, you never know. You could be in the hunt for the win. But yeah, it's getting to 20 in an effective, efficient way, and then racing from there in.
So what made 2014 the right year to run New York first time?
Yeah, I think the build-up after 2012 has been just getting strength work in and getting comfortable with the marathon, and it's been a lot of miles and longer strength workouts. So I think this is a course that will really suit that, and I'll have an advantage of having all that work under my legs. So I think that should be good timing for getting on a challenging course.
How has your training gone in terms of, have you had any interruptions, injuries or otherwise?
Nothing major. I mean, I think we all run into things along the way, but nothing that would compromise fitness by any means. So pretty basic standard segment, yeah.
What shoes are you going to be racing in on Sunday?
T7, Brooks T7.
Same as Ryan Bell.
Yes, good shoe.
Have you had a chance to look at the weather forecast yet? Do you think is that going to adjust the plan for the race?
Yeah, I've seen it, and I'm always a little skeptical about the weather because the weathermen tend to be wrong quite a bit. So I wait until the last second, and then I really look at it and say, okay, this is probably what it's going to be. Now let's make our game plan. But if it's huge headwinds and the time goals get thrown out the window, then you just go by feel. This feels like the right effort, and those will be plans we make right at the end.
Do you think